Welcome, everyone. It's Rixilla here with another stream. I mean, I wasn't really planning on doing this today. I was going to wait until tomorrow, but this can't wait. This definitely cannot wait. I mean, as you know, Shanny received news from her sister that her father passed away. I can't tell which one it is. I don't know if it's Joe or a father that, or one of her, or like a father figure, or one of Betty's exes. But at this point, she's in distraught. If anyone has any information regarding the family dynamic, please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at this video and see what is going on.
Baby, I'm sorry. I love you.
Already, I'm still feeling creeped out about this. She cries like a fucking child. But then again, she's trying to show emotion as a way to garner sympathy. If anything did happen to Shanny's father, then I am deeply sorry to the family. I am truly sorry for what happened. But no way in hell will I ever show any empathy for Shanny. If anything bad, I mean, having to deal with the stress of having Shanny as a daughter would be hazardous to your health. And I'm not harping on Joe or any family member, as a matter of fact. You have my condolences. You have my sincere condolences for what happened. However, Shanny, on the other hand, she shows no empathy of any kind. She can pretend that she's empathetic, but we've all heard this before.
I have something to tell you guys, and it's not good. I gotta put this on YouTube too. I don't want to.
Of course, yes, you got to put it on YouTube because you want everyone to know how much of a piece of shit you really are.
I got a phone call from my sister, and she told me my dad died. My dad is dead.
Which one? Which dad? Which dad are you talking about? Keep in mind that Betty has been known to be, I guess you could say, somewhat of an adulteress. She has had numerous affairs with other men. All right. See you later, Spirit God Warrior 420. Gotta make that paycheck, because that money still goes to charity.
She told me he had metastatic lung cancer. And then The abuse of my family came in and told me, now that you know, you can deal with it yourself. I thought you had the right to know that your dad died. And then she said, I don't want a relationship with you or anything to do with you. And I called her a cold fucking bitch, because that's a cold fucking bitch. So you tell me my dad died, and then you tell me to deal with it myself. There's no funeral. There's no memorial. Nothing of him. Nothing of my dad.
COVID.
I can't even say goodbye to my father. I felt it last night too. When he passed, I felt it. I had a headache all day. All day. And I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I was like, am I dying? Oh, it was my dad. I love called her a cold fucking bitch, because that's a cold fucking bitch. Now that you know, you can deal with it.
I'm sorry, I missed most of the part. I missed most of it. So she's upset that her dad passed away. I can't tell which one is it, but my guess, it could be either Joe, since Joe has had a lot of health problems as of recently. But it could be anyone's guess who it is. Regardless, it's very sad and heartbreaking. And for the McGraws, you have for Shanny's immediate family, her parents and her siblings, you have my utmost condolences. I can't say the same for Shanny because, again, Shanny has no empathy for anyone other than herself. And she's probably going to use her dad's death as a way to force the trolls to stop bothering her. And I'm going to go into why that's bullshit in a minute.
And then the abuse of my family came in and told me, now that you know, you can deal with it yourself.
This almost does remind me of a Drazdia in a way. When her grandmother passed away and they left and they gave her money, and they told her to figure it out. This is similar in that sense.
I thought you had the right to...
Again, this is going to be like a short stream. I'm not going to spend as much time on this as I would because, again, this just happened recently.
To know that your dad died. And then she said, I don't want a relationship with you or anything to do with you.
Oh,
and
damn.
I called her a cold fucking bitch, because that's a cold fucking bitch. So you tell me my dad died, and then you tell me to deal with it myself. There's no funeral.
There's this, again, it's almost similar to when Mary's family told her to figure it out when they gave her a piece of the inheritance, the property, when they gave her Mima's property, and then they told her to figure it out. Similarities are uncanny.
There's no memorial, nothing of him, nothing of my dad.
COVID?
COVID.
I can't even say goodbye to my father.
She cries like Chris Chan. Yes, hack up a lung, Shanny. Hack up a lung.
I felt it last night too. When he passed, I felt it. I had a headache all day.
I think that's probably because you've been using drugs constantly.
All day. And I knew something was wrong.
Ron?
I knew something was wrong. I was like, am I dying? Oh, it was my dad. I love my daddy.
Then why did you, if you loved your dad, then why did you threaten him when you and your mother had a fight? Why did Rev threaten him? Why didn't you stop him?
He was so cool.
Joe was cool.
He got me into Pink Floyd, and he got me into Supertramp. He sat me down and got me into Star Trek. My daddy was everything to me. And I loved him. He was the first man I loved. And I loved him. I couldn't even say goodbye to him. Daddy, I love you.
Oh, now she's concerned about her dad. Now she's concerned about her dad. After all the years where she said that he was abusive, after all the years she said that her family abused her, treated her like shit. Honestly, even though this is a tragedy, I still feel no empathy for Shanny because honestly, she doesn't have any empathy to show. It's all fake. All of it is fake.
I don't know how to handle it. And I'm doing exactly what TJ did.
TJ.
He found out his dad died and he went online to tell everyone because he didn't know what to fucking do.
TJ Kirk, former member of the DP.
And then I'm told that my mom's about to die too. So this year I'm gonna lose my father and my mother. Can people stop hating me now?
Oh God. Oh God. My dad is dead and my mother's gonna die. Can you leave me alone? Can you stop hating me? No. It's not. It doesn't work that way, you dumb idiot. You can't just expect people to leave you alone after your parents passed. That's not how the internet works, you idiot. Honestly, why should we care about you? Now. Only if you stop uploading videos, then we'll leave you alone. How about this, Shanny? If you stop uploading videos about your personal life, then we'll leave you alone.
Because I don't think I can take anymore. I'm just...
Oh, it's the Amazing Atheist. Oh, thank you. Wow. Yes, hawk up a lung.
I'm dealing with my own health problems where I don't know how much longer I have either. And this is just another layer of fucking stress that I don't know if I can fucking take.
Don't have a heart attack on us now, Shanny. That kind of sounds like that chant from Finding Nemo. The Rain of Fire.
My daddy.
My daddy!
My daddy!
My daddy! You didn't even care. Sorry.
I don't. They said they don't. They told me he died and told me to deal with it myself. That's what they told me.
Hey, Blue. What is
I just
up?
thought you had the right to know if Dad died, and you know what? You can deal with it now yourself.
It kind of sounds like the same with when Mary's Mima died, and they left her the proper Mima's property, the condo, and they told her to figure it out. This almost sounds similar. The fake crying, the pity party. This is why you should never fuck with the Monster King, Shanny.
Can't have my family to console me? I can't console my family? Do you know how horrifying this is for me? Another unfair fucking thing in life.
You've had worse. Most of the shit that happened to most of the shit that's happened to you in your life is your damn fault. Having to run away from Colorado to go back to Pennsylvania, having your YouTube channel terminated, having your Cash App terminated for violating TOS, being talked about on the news because of your abuse, because of how you treated your boys. And on top of that, having everyone in your family hate you for you being a complete and utter piece of human garbage. And also, let's not forget the fact that you drained Rev's inheritance money. No face cam today. She sounds like, oh my God, she sounds like me when I used to cry when I was little. Keep in mind, this bitch has the mental capacity of a 5-year-old. Yes, hawk up a lung, I never hawked up a lung when I would cry. When a family member passed, I didn't know how to respond. I tried to cry, but
take a breath. Baby. Take a breath.
I was a baby! And technically I still am! Because I've never fully developed into an adult. Mentally. Oh, sorry, wrong bitch.
Look at me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's take 3 slow, deep breaths. Shanny. Look at me.
To quote Marquise de Sade, for an anointed one, she seems to be at a loss at dealing with the word of God. Death is something we all shall face. And when my mother died young, I did what any of us did, and that was respect her. My mother and I had our differences, but I made sure things got right between us ASAP. That I am proud of. She wonders why her family has distanced themselves and calls them out. Perhaps this will be her wake-up call and think before putting her own children through this kind of fear. At least she surely will make bank off of it. Yeah, Marquise de Sade. I'm pretty sure she might make profit off of her pity party. And to quote Girl Next Door 0703, can people stop hating on me now? Way to show your respect. And here's what Baptist on Fire said. This song is for my parents. I hope they die of COVID. Shanny. Is she 15 or 37? What about your kids who lost a grandfather? Wow. And JPM said, I remember her saying that her parents were abusive and that she hoped they dropped dead. Why the tears, Shanny? I'm just reading all the comments in Double X's videos. Sorry, I can't pronounce XX like this. Double X's videos. Oles B Jack 2 said, she absolutely hates everyone in her family. What did she expect? She laughed at the geek room when their friend passed away. So now again, what does she expect in return? Scammy, maybe one day you'll learn to stop treating everyone like garbage and live a normal life like the rest of us. Rev, are you still enjoying being with that monster? And the rest goes on.
That's good. That's good.
My daddy!
My daddy! My daddy is dead! Pity me! Give me your money! Give me a fucking break, Shanny. Honestly, I thought you hated your family. I thought you hated your mother. Didn't you want them to drop dead? Didn't you want your mother to die? What's up with what? Why now do you choose this time to give us these fake pity party, these fake tears? Freddie McDonald said, the people who know her best and the longest don't want to deal with her. Should really make anyone who supports her stop and think. Exactly. Shanny has no empathy, Freddie. That's why I say show her none in return. Shanny has no empathy. She has no remorse. She's incapable of showing remorse. Because her ego. And again, Freddie said, as is the norm for Shanny, she is making it all about her. Yes, I agree, Freddie. Because she's an extreme egotist. Her ego won't let her think about anyone or anything but herself. And this is from someone who has been coddled most of their life.
I knew something. We felt it last night.
Yeah, something was not right.
No,
Something was not right.
no, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
To Joe's family, to Joe's loved ones, to Joe's kids, you have my utter condolences. You have my to Betty's kids, you have my utter condolences. I am deeply sorry for this loss. However, I will not take pity on Shanny because she has not shown any remorse for anyone other than herself. I mean, this is the woman who has laughed at Trevor's passing. This is the woman who mocked the death of Trevor, one of the Geek Room's closest friends. She has mocked the death of Mo the Pagan and anyone else who has talked about her or even mentioned her by name. She has claimed so many times that God will avenge her. So why and she has also wished death on people that she doesn't like. People like the Geek Room, people like Dragnot, people like Jules, and many more. People who make videos on her, she has wished death upon. Hell, she's even threatened to murder people in the past. She threatened to murder. She nearly attempted to murder her ex-husband Chris with a fucking axe.
No!
You're gonna see him again. You will.
And also, she almost killed Rev. And also, I almost forgot, she almost killed Rev when she forced him to quit drinking alcohol and didn't give him the proper medical attention. And I'm pretty sure she force-fed meth. And I'm pretty sure she force-fed him methamphetamines.
My baby girl.
Ah!
See you again.
Daddy, Daddy,
Daddy!
Daddy, Daddy. Ah!
She sounds like a 4-year-old. She sounds like a fucking 5-year-old just yelling daddy. This woman is almost 40 years old, guys. And she's here crying like a fucking toddler. That says much about her.
I know my.
So, in her mind, my dad is dead. Will you stop talking about me? I'm pretty sure after all of this, she's going to make multiple rants on Instagram demanding people to stop making videos about her, stop talking about her, stop doing streams on her. And then she's going to start doing the whole thing where she's saying, these people have ruined my name. Psychologically and emotionally raped me to no end. I have no one in my life. I am nothing but a dead soul. And then Shandy's going to post a picture of herself on Instagram holding a gun to her head. Maybe a toy gun. One of the kids, maybe a toy gun. Or a water gun to her head. and say, and with a caption that reads, "Is this what you want?" before having it taken down due to violating TOS, which will result in her Instagram being terminated.
Dad, I don't have my dad. I can't even go to see him.
Oh, really?
That's so horrible. No funerals?
No
Because
funeral.
of COVID. She said because of COVID. That is so... There's no words for how...
It's so cold.
That is so abusive to every person in the country.
Wow.
Just keep breathing.
Really? Really? I've been muted for 10 minutes? I don't see it. I don't see me being muted for 10 minutes. That's strange. And of course,
Daddy.
oh, that was on your end. Oh, okay.
I gotta go to YouTube and tell them they know more about him.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. That'll get people to feel sorry for you. Make a YouTube video talking about how your dad passed away of cancer. And you just found out about it. And you just found out about it? What does that say about you, Shanny? What does that say about how much you sort out priorities? It says a lot. It obviously says a lot about how much of a narcissistic piece of shit you really are. I mean, honestly, you still get no empathy from me or anyone that talks about you. Like I said, this shit is going to spiral out of control. You're going to start doing videos, or actually, you're going to start posting on like social media sites where you're saying that you have nothing left to live for. You have nobody in your life to care for you. And then you're going to post a picture of yourself holding, or you're going to post a picture of your punched wrists. You're going to post a picture of your punched wrists and say, "Is this what you want?" Or you're going to post a picture of yourself holding a toy gun to your head and say, "You made me do this. You're making me do this. I have no one in my life." And then you're going to go on a tirade demanding people to stop making videos about you, stop talking about you, stop mentioning your name. And you're going to go on so many endless rants on Instagram, Twitch, and maybe even Twitter, blaming everybody but yourself for all your own failures. All of this will be, and you think that doing this would provide an avenue to the two most sought after things in your life? And in doing this, you will think that this will provide you an avenue to the two most sought after things in your life. which are love and validation.
You want me close?
Yeah, I.
Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, all right?
Honestly, I am deeply sorry for what happened to Joe. I honestly feel so sorry for what.
Shanny will be on YouTube. Peace out.
He's not supposed to be on YouTube. She had her channel terminated. That says a lot, you dimwit.
There's nothing I can say to you. Like, this is horrible.
And then I just got a message saying I'm faking crying.
Oh, now here's where the drama goes.
Yeah, they're gonna do that.
They're fucking son of a bitches.
And now here's the rage. Her anger, her hatred. Here.
I have some bad news.
And here's the YouTube video.
For YouTube, really.
Because a lot of you guys know him. My dad.
And now she's gonna start crying again. And honestly, what do I expect from her? What do I expect from this heartbeat of a woman? This mentally unstable hobo of a woman.
I hate saying this. My dad just died.
Like I said, this is going to be a little short stream.
I can't do this. I can't do this. My sister was cold as fucking ice.
Possibly.
Cold as fucking ice.
And watch once your mom passes away, and then your sister and your brothers start their own YouTube channel talking about how the fallacies in your story, or better yet, a relative of your, like a close relative, like an aunt or an uncle or a cousin, will start making a YouTube video pointing out all the fallacies in your stories about how you were the aggressor in this whole issue. And then that family relative is gonna take the heat for all of this shit. And then you're gonna say that person left you no choice but to have your siblings arrested for siding with your mother after she has passed, because both parents are dead, and that leaves only the siblings to carry on the burden. Bless you.
Told me my dad died and told me I had to deal with it. No consoling, no I love you, Shannon. Nothing.
No, I am not giving that heartbeat. I'm not giving that fat blob of a woman any of my donation money. Dude, we got bills to pay.
My dad died of metastatic lung cancer. They gave him 3 months to live, but he never really smoked. He didn't. He never really smoked. He was apparently complaining of bone pain. I have that. Go figure what that is.
She's always in pain.
I don't have much longer either. And then
Yes, you don't have that much longer either with your physical and mental health deteriorating at a fast pace. Like I said, you're over 600 pounds. Your brain, your mental health is, it's not good. Your mental health and your physical health are declining, which makes us believe that you're probably going to either kill over or do yourself in by the end of this year or next year. I mean, you don't have a place to stay. You have no money. Everybody on the internet hates your guts. And you have nobody to support you. You have no support system. Just a bunch of people pretending to be sympathetic towards your cause. I'm not telling you to go off yourself. I'm not going to tell you to commit Minecraft. I'm making a prediction of what's going to happen.
told that my mom doesn't have much longer either. She's on her deathbed now too. There is not going to be any funeral or anything.
Yeah, because
even though he fucking deserves it.
Maybe a virtual funeral.
I hate my family for what they've done.
Of course.
It kept me away from my dad for so many years.
Yeah. Your parents disowned you after they kicked you out of their house. They distanced themselves from you because you are a heartless monster. And you talk shit about Tia Tequila being pure evil. You're the one who's being evil towards people. You've practically wished death on so many others, on everyone you hated. You wish that someone would murder them. And I wouldn't be surprised if you started making Instagram posts demanding people to murder your detractors.
I have had enough of life. And I don't know how I'm gonna mentally fucking handle this.
They don't want you to come to the funeral because there isn't going to be a funeral because of COVID. It's worse now than it was last. Well, actually, it was actually more. It's more tame since there hasn't been any. Yeah, there's the variant, the Delta variant, but yes, it's worse now than it already is. But they can't risk another lockdown. They're still advising practicing on social distancing. But while there are mandating vaccines, but the right won't believe them because of Madam Marjorie Taylor, who was one of those big QAnon conspirators.
Because, like my sister said, I have to handle my dad dying by myself with no family there for me. I gotta get a hold of my cousins. I need to tell my cousin Darlene what happened. I gotta call Pat.
You're so over dramatic.
That's all you get.
And now here's for the next video. And this is continuing on with the tragedy, the passing of Joe McGraw, if that's his last name. And I shall share the audio. So, again, she's still distraught about her dad's passing. But guess what? She's devastated.
So.
Okay, so she's wearing lipstick and no makeup, no foundation. Not a good look for you, Shanny. Not a good look.
I have good news, and I figured I should report this since,
What?
You know, I've been talking about this for a while now, but I have good news.
What is the good news?
I have good news.
What is it?
And it's not good news for me, but it's good news for someone else.
What?
You guys have you looked into the Free Britney movement, right?
Oh.
And you know that Britney.
Oh, no. Don't you ever bring up that shit while you are still in grieving over the loss of your father. The whole justice for Britney thing
is complaining about her father doing conservatorship abuse, right? Well, today, Jamie Spears has decided to step down at the conservatorship. So Britney is free.
Justice for Britney. 1 minute you're talking about your dad dying, and the next you're talking about justice for Britney. Have you ever listened to any of Britney's songs?
Jamie is out of Britney's life. Thank God. Thank God she no longer has to be abused by this man. So, again, Jamie.
The whole Free Britney thing is basically Shanny's version of justice for Bubba. The whole Free Britney thing is basically Shanny's justice for Bubba.
Jamie Spears has stepped down from Britney Spears' conservatorship. And it's good news. It's good news. So I just wanted you to know that.
No empathy.
I've been talking to family all day. And I'm tired.
Do it.
I'm tired.
Yeah, we know. You're always tired.
But it's good that Britney doesn't have to worry about her father abusing her anymore. And he finally stepped down. I'll tell you this, though. I really wish I had just have been able to say I love you, Dad, and to hug him goodbye. I wish I was.
After all of the things you've said about your parents, now you're concerned. Now you show grief for the loss of your father when you're talking about Britney Spears' dad stepping down from the conservatorship. Way to handle your priorities. You don't see a Drazia saying shit like that.
Was allowed to be able to do that to my father. But I heard from him He's in heaven. He's next to the Father. He told me it's gonna be okay. I've been talking to Dad all day too, because I know he's in heaven with the Lord. And I really can't wait to see him again.
Again, I'm seeing similarities between Shanny and Adrasia when it comes to grieving over fathers. When she actually keeps saying that her father was abusive and her parents treated her like shit. And yet there are videos dedicating.
Because I love my daddy.
No, you didn't.
He was in a very controlling relationship. And he wasn't allowed to see me at the end of his life. The last thing I heard him say was, "God damn it, Betty. I'm never going to talk to that girl again."
He prophesied.
I miss him so much.
This is heartbreaking shit.
I miss him so much. And despite our problems, I understand why he did it, because he was so abused and controlled like I was.
I love my dad. So was my dad.
You barely even knew your dad, Rev. You barely even knew your dad. You were 8 when he passed away.
I know that he's happier now. He gets to be with his mom and dad and his sister and his brothers.
Yeah.
He gets to be with them all.
Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised that Adrasia didn't hop on the whole Free Britney movement. And I'm surprised that she didn't take Britney's pain and used it on her to justify her suffering. Believing that
he gets to see my grandpa.
Yeah.
And it's so bad. So many people have lost their dad within the last month. My cousin Mike, he lost his dad a month ago. And then my ex-boyfriend Robbie, I talked to him about it because we care for each other still. We were high school sweethearts, but I told him,
you never finished high school. How did you have a sweetheart?
He was like, "I'm sorry, baby, it doesn't get any better." Because he just lost his dad too. And he was the wonderful man. He was a beautiful artist.
Really?
So it's like 3 people I found out today that I loved are gone. And I know that my mom right now is in hospice and she's dying, so I'm going to be losing her too soon. So I don't.
You're going to lose your mom after you've made countless videos complaining and ranting about how she's an abusive, manipulative witch. You're now concerned about going to be grieving over your mom's death after all the horrible things you said about her, after all the times you wished death on your parents.
I don't know. And then I have these goddamn assholes on the internet continuing to attack me still.
Judgment's coming.
Judgment's coming. Judgment day is coming. Yeah. We heard this story before, Rev. We've heard this shit before. Justice for Bubba.
You can't even give me a fucking break of you attacking me. I've done nothing to you fuckers. And I have no regret over what I've said to the evil people.
Either that, but I'm pretty sure Shanny's gonna threaten to have her siblings arrested for not validating her truth about how her mother would how her family had abused her.
I have no regret over it. Because every single one of them messed with my head, pretended to be my friend, pretended to be like they cared, and all they did was just stab me in the back.
We've heard this story. One minute you're talking about your dad, the next you're talking about how the trolls have been fucking with you. I hate to disappoint you, Shanny, but you deserved it. All the shit that's been going on in your life, again, it's your own fault. You are so self-absorbed. You didn't even check in on your parents. You wouldn't even visit your fucking mom in hospice. Instead, all you did was sit around and hate on people like Jules and Dragnot. If it were Rev in the hospital, or God forbid, your son's in the hospital, you wouldn't even give two shits about them. If your sons were dying, if your sons were in hospice, you would ignore them. You would ignore them and say that it's everyone's fault. As a matter of fact, that's what you did when William had suicidal ideations. Instead of staying with him, you decided to go home and play Animal Crossing with Zachary. You don't even know how real relationships work.
Like pieces of fucking shit the day my dad died, and they all know it. They all know it. How do you attack someone so viciously the day their father dies?
Because you're so self-absorbed and you didn't even care about your father to grieve, to mourn his death. You took this tragedy and made it about yourself.
Fucking pieces of shit. And I'm getting nothing but messages attacking me, and I have no one sticking up for me because all of you are fucking cowards who won't stand up for someone. When I stand up for so many people, even my own enemies, I stand up for.
Prove it. Prove that you stood up for anyone. Prove it. Show us the receipts. We know Dragnot is the king of receipts. That's for sure. Prove to us that you stood up for the Geek Room. I mean, well,
I stood up for Callie after all the fucking vicious shit she's done to me. I stuck up for her. I stuck up for Charlie Gold after the fucking shit she's done.
Prove it. Show us the receipts.
Everyone who I saw wrong, I stuck up for.
And you stabbed them in the back?
Because I have integrity.
No, you don't. You have nothing. You have no empathy. You have no remorse. You have no empathy for anyone. And I know this is only the beginning, because she's going to make numerous videos demanding people to stop talking about her. And then she's going to start spouting death threats towards her enemies.
Oh, you're racist. Oh.
And I was courageous and strong. But I don't feel very strong anymore. I feel weak.
You were always
I feel weak. And my chest is hurting. And I'm in a lot of fucking pain.
Crinkle heart. Crinkle heart.
A lot of fucking pain. Emotionally. Physically. They're evil. They're evil.
You're evil.
And I don't know how anyone can stand by people who are attacking someone after their loved one died.
You didn't give two shits about your mother being in hospice. Hell, you didn't even know your mother was in hospice. Before Joe died, he sent an email to Drag talking about it. And he said he wasn't going to help you with your money issues. You alienated every one of your family members. And you abused them emotionally and physically.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Especially people who said they cared about my father. If you actually cared about my father, you wouldn't attack his daughter.
That's right. Sip that Coke. Yeah. Be Free 412 commented in XX's comments. She said this, to quote BB412 in XX's comments: the only person Shanny should be angry at is herself for pushing her family away, for treating them so bad that they want nothing to do with her during a tragedy. Shanny should be suffering an enormous amount of guilt for wishing God to smite them with disease so that they die. But all I hear from Shanny is me, 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 and I want, I need, I deserve. Can't I say I expected more? Exactly. That's what I would say. But that's the point. BB 412, Be Free 412. Shanny is so self-absorbed. I've said this before. She wouldn't even visit her kids. She wouldn't even visit her son when he was dealing with suicidal ideations. Exactly. He did keep that promise. Jerry, you're right. And Ministry of Truth KMK said, Shanny, there's a reason why your father didn't talk to you when he was sick and knew that he was dying. And there's a reason why your family isn't supporting you. It's not your mother, it's all you. I agree, Ministry of Truth. She has her ego is about the size of the cosmos. Shanny has an ego that's ego. Self-absorbed. I'm just typing. Since sorry, I'm just typing out this comment that I'm posting.
Pieces of shit.
There you go.
Coming to me. Telling me I'm faking how I fucking feel. Who fucking fakes that their dad dies?
You fake your emotions all the time. Every time shit doesn't go your way, you make a video and start crying these fake ass tears and screaming at the top of your loud, demanding people to stop talking about you.
Just so you can laugh at someone in fucking mourning, you sick fucks.
No, we're just pissed off at you because you didn't even give two fucks about your family until now. This whole, oh, my dad is dead, please pity me. You're just using your dad's death as a way to garner sympathy from unseeing eyes.
Someone who's going through it.
It's almost similar to when Bob Chandler passed away and Chris blamed it on the trolls. The trolls left him alone. Well, the original trolls left him alone, but he still made numerous Facebook posts ranting about how it's everyone's fault that his life is was shit. And I could see the same happening with you.
Tremendous things that you could, and tribulations you couldn't possibly fucking handle. Oh. It's fucking gross.
You're fucking gross. What you're doing is fucking gross. The way how you're using your father's death as a way to lash out at people who are pointing out the obvious, that you are a narcissistic cunt, a heartless monster, a bully. That's what you are. You're nothing more than a bully. And no one's going to cry on the very day you die because that's all you are. All you all will be is the faded memory of a bully.
It's fucking gross what people do just to try to get a reaction, but I don't even care.
Then why are you making this video?
Because I'm worrying right now.
For what? What do you have to worry about? Your dad is gone. They don't want anything to do with you. Your family doesn't want anything to do with you. They disowned you because you were a violent, disgusting piece of human trash.
And I'm sad, and I'm confused, and I'm angry.
No, so now you're angry.
I'm angry that my family won't be there for me.
Who does this remind you of, guys? If you say Adrasdia, then you might be right. Because Adrasdia has been saying the same shit about how her family was never there when her father abused her as a kid.
When I would be there for them.
No, you wouldn't. Like I said, you weren't there for your kids. You weren't there for your kid. Hell, you weren't even there for William when you had to take him to a crisis center after he talked about suicidal ideations. You blamed it on Dragnot. And then instead of being there comforting him, you went home and played Animal Crossing with Zachary.
I'm angry that no one gives me fucking compassion when I need it.
Why?
When I truly need it.
Why should anyone give you compassion? You've pushed everyone away. You've alienated almost every member of your family. You've backstabbed your friends. And you've thrown everybody that has ever tried to help you under the bus. You're a sociopath, Shannon. And the fact that you would rather talk to the trolls than take time to mourn your father is more vile than anything anyone has ever done. If I received news that a family member of mine passed away, I'd stop what I'm doing. I'd take a break from the internet and I'd deal with the issue.
You can't put things past you. You have to continue to attack someone who's hurting and say the most vilest fucking things to them.
You say that the trolls are saying all the vile things to you? You don't see Jules wishing COVID on her parents. You don't see Dragnot calling Von Helton. Well, actually, I mean, you don't see Dragnot laughing at the death of a friend of the Geek Rooms. You don't see Miss Parker wanting her mother's head on a platter.
Anyone who supports these monsters, you're monsters too. You're monsters too.
I don't support anyone. I admire what they do, but I don't support them. Not anymore. I do my own thing. And my own thing is calling people like you out for all the fucked up things you and your significant other have said and done in the past. I call it out. Same thing with other idiots like you. You're the monster here, Shanny. You're the one who laughed when Trevor passed away. You're the one who wished death on the Geek Room, on Dragnot, and anyone you hate. You wished for God to eradicate all your enemies for talking about you, for pointing out the bullshit in your stories.
And you better hope someone doesn't make fun of you and treat you like shit when a loved one of yours dies.
If my loved one died, I wouldn't be on the internet saying this shit. I would be taking a break from the internet to give myself time to mourn, to grieve. I wouldn't be making countless videos screaming at the trolls to leave me alone.
You better make sure. You better make sure that they don't do that to you. Thank you.
Give her money.
I'm angry at my family for not being there for me.
Your family, once again, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that your family won't want to talk to you? You have no one to blame but yourself.
Because that is so wrong. That is so wrong. To make someone mourn and then just leave them alone.
There's a reason why your family didn't want anything to do with you. There's a reason why your dad didn't want to talk to you. You sound like a Wookiee when you cry.
I want my dad.
Now you sound like a toddler.
I want my daddy.
Now you sound like a fucking child. What's next? Are you going to say, I was a baby when my mother abused me? And technically, I still am. Well, we can see that. You cry like a baby.
I want it so bad. I just want to hug him and kiss him and tell him how much I love him.
Maybe you should have thought of that when you threatened him the night. Maybe you should have thought of that when you threatened him on that fateful Christmas Eve of 2017.
I want to just at least hear a song with him. Just a song.
A song?
Like we used to watch an episode of Star Trek like we used to.
Oh boy.
I want my dad.
I want my daddy.
This isn't right to fight this alone.
Yeah, we know.
It's devastating. And then to have people make fun of you on top of it.
Like what
I loved my dad.
Like what Nick Geek Out said, all she had to do is not air her shit. Yes. Yes, Platty. Yes, she did. She gaslit her kids into saying that her mother was abusive and wanted her. She gaslit William to say that her mother wanted to kill him.
So much, and to be honest, because of how evil my mom was, I was waiting for her to die to reconcile with my dad, and he had to die first.
What's next? Are you gonna make a video where you have to, once your mom passes away and there's no one that'll validate your story? What's next? I predict that your siblings, your relatives, one of your relatives is going to make a YouTube channel pointing out all of the fallacies in your story. And then that relative is going to say, allow me to take the fall for this shit. Allow me to take the fall for her incompetence. Honestly, I would like to see your brothers and sisters say that to like the Geek Room and
No one thought he would die, but he had to die first. When I wanted to reconcile with him. I just had to wait. I waited too long. I couldn't, though. She wouldn't let him be in my life. She wouldn't let my dad be in my life.
She had every reason to not let your dad be in your life.
Every time my dad was in my life, she'd fucking throw a fucking wrench in it and ruin it. It was dark days.
Yes, Moon Bear, she is. This is disgusting. I mean, this is even more disgusting than what Mary has to say. Especially, this is basically what I would expect from Mary, from Adrasdia. I would expect this behavior from Adrasdia. And technically, I do.
And the coldness. The cold.
Moon Bear. Mary is the name of a lolcow called Mary is the real name of a lolcow named Adrasdia. Mary Barone, also known as Adrasdia, is a 36-year-old mentally unstable woman who lives in East LA, or at least that's where she once lived. We don't know what happened to her, but throughout her time on the internet, she has made numerous videos crying about how her life is hard, and then she starts blaming her family for all the fucked up things that's happened in her life. If you want to know more about Mary or Adrasdia, look at some of the videos I have made on her. Look at some of the streams I have made on her. Or better yet, check out Hatman's video on Adrasdia.
Of my siblings toward me. They have no idea how much I love them too, and how disappointed I am. And they wonder why I'm angry, because I'm rejected. I'm borderline. Rejection and loss is our biggest fucking triggers. And my trigger's been set. I was already feeling bad enough in my life. And now this. And I have to do it alone. But he's with the Lord. He knows how much I love him. He knows how much I love him, because the Lord will tell him and show him and have him feel it. I couldn't sleep last night. I felt him passing. I couldn't sleep. I had this massive migraine. And I was like, where is this coming from? I don't feel good. I feel like I'm dying. I was feeling my father slip away.
I know, Platty.
I was feeling my father slip away. I can't do this. I can't do this.
And now here's another one. This is only like 45 minutes long. Actually, 21 seconds long.
Who the fuck are you to question me about my life and my family? And I don't even know who the fuck you are. Who the fuck are you to question me and my integrity?
All right. I'll check out Moonbear's stuff. Link me her channel. Oh, wait, no, you can't because you're not a mod. Don't worry about that. I got this. Hey, Platty, guess what? I made you a mod. So, Moonbear, you want to know who Mary is? You want to know who Mary is? This is her YouTube channel that's still up. She hasn't I'm just gonna play this video. This is Mary, also known as Adrasdia. She's a middle-aged woman who at one point was living on the streets in LA after she ran away from home half a decade ago. This woman has also been making YouTube videos slandering her family and saying that they've been abusive to her. She's also slandered people for bullying her, for conspiring to rape her and murder her, for trying to get her to commit suicide.
I am not a liar. My family is abusive. My family is abusive. They will lie to cover their abuse. I am not lying, and I will never stop speaking out. My father was a monster, and that's the truth. Whether any of you will ever believe me or not, that's the truth. My father was an inhuman monster.
Yeah, she kept saying that her father raped her as a kid, but there hasn't been any proof of any sexual abuse or any physical abuse of any kind. She has made numerous videos threatening to kill herself to no end.
And I suffered for 18 years in that house. And he does not get to get away with it just because he's dead. He doesn't get to get away with it just because the rest of the family is ashamed.
Also, Adrastia wrote a book which is basically like, I guess you could say, a ripoff of the book A Child Called It by Dave Pelzer. It's the book, if you don't know what that book is, it's the book about a man. It's an autobiography about Dave Pelzer's upbringing, of his poor upbringing as a child, and how his family abused him and treated him like shit. Mary, on the other hand, took that man's story and used it for her own to garner sympathy because she has nothing going on in her life. The book that she wrote is called I Will Never Stop Screaming. Mary is the person that ran away from home at the age of 18 to shack up with a pedophile who was seeing an underage girl while they were married after they got married. Even when they got married. After she left that guy, who then transitioned into becoming a female, she hooked up with a convicted child molester with a wheelchair-bound fiance with cerebral palsy. And she told him to get rid of her. And he did so by strangling her to death. And she helped cover the murder by purchasing a shovel to bury the body in the backyard. She has been at war with her family ever since her Mima, her grandmother, passed away. And they gave her grandma's property and told her to figure it out. Instead of doing that, instead of owning that property, she tried to sell it. And she fled from Florida to live on the streets in Los Angeles, California. And she has been homeless for 2.5 years. And most of the videos are her talking about her homeless life, while other videos are her having a mental breakdown, crying, and threatening suicide. And then she started living in a truck. And then a few homeless shelters, a motel room, and then until she recently got her Section 8 housing. And now she's on the verge of losing her Section 8 because she hasn't been paying rent. She used to receive donations via PayPal, but most of that money went to weed. Now she's going off on a tangent, claiming that her Aunt Kathy has been abusive to her because she has lied about how Bubba wasn't abused. Her brother, her deceased brother, who also had cerebral palsy.
For letting it happen. I'm not going to let him. And no, going offline
I'm
doesn't
looking forward to
stop
it, Moonbear.
because it's in my head and it's in my heart. And going offline doesn't stop the bullies from abusing me either because they have my address. They mailed me poop. So clearly they have my address and they're mailing me things to let me know that they have my address. I'm not lying.
You're welcome.
And I'm not going to stop speaking out.
Yep. She is a piece of work. And this is the last video she made, Moonbear. This is her last video before she went off the grid. This is the last video Mary made before she went off the grid. No one has ever heard of her or seen her. No one's even, but from what some Facebook messages, she said that she's not going back on because we abused her. But we all know that's a lie.
people die.
Mary Barone, aka Adrazia, is basically like the modern day Marina Joyce. If you remember Marina Joyce, you remember the times you remember that time back in 2016 when people were concerned for Marina Joyce and because she claimed to have been kidnapped. Well, it turns out that was all a bullshit, all a lie, and that she's fine.
There's a lot of pressure from everyone around you to be kind to that dead person, even if they weren't a kind person. I fell under that societal pressure and confusion, and I said kind words about a man who I never should have said anything kind about. And now I'll spend the rest of my life.
Mary is on the same wavelength as Shanny when it comes to demanding sympathy from onlookers.
Not being believed for the pain that I'm actually in. I'll spend the rest of my life with nobody believing what actually happened to me because I fell under pressure and I said kind words about a man who I never, ever, ever should have given the slightest amount of kindness.
I'm sorry to hear about your brother's passing. I'm sure he's in a better place.
Too. If somebody in your life dies and you don't like that person, don't tell anybody that you like them.
Mary is extremely entitled. And I mean, she is extremely entitled. She's even worse than Shanny. She's even worse than Rev.
Don't ever change and tell people that you like that person just because they're dead and can't hurt you anymore. Because if you later change your story and tell what that person really was, nobody will ever believe you. If anything happens to me, if I should die, I don't want a...
And I love Aunt Kathy. I freaking love her. I mean, she is so amazing. She's freaking hilarious. She's freaking hilarious, and I love her to pieces.
burial. I don't want an obituary. I don't want a book full of lies. If I leave my comments on this video, I'll have 100 comments within 10 minutes telling me I'm worthless, that I'm garbage, that I'm a liar, that I deserve to die. And if I was to die, that's exactly what I want my memorial book to say. Okay? I don't want all of you who are telling me how hateful I am and how much you want me gone from this world now to be posting on some online memorial about how she was so great and nobody understood. She had went through some memorial about how she was so great and nobody understood. She had went through so much, and if people had just given her a chance, because you've all decided right now that you're never going to give me a chance, you're never going to accept me, you're never going to care about me. But as soon as I'm dead, you're all suddenly going to be my best friends. And I don't want it. If you wouldn't say it to me after I'm dead, don't say it to me now. And don't say it to me then either, because I don't want it. I don't want a legacy of people pretending they cared after it was too late. I'd prefer for things to be remembered the way they are. Hateful and cruel, with my own family telling me that they're going to kill me over money. That's what I want. When I die, I want a headstone that says nobody in this world cared about her. Her own family wanted her to die, and money was more important. What I don't want is 700 assholes who have spent the last year trying to make me kill myself.
writing in that stupid book for everybody to see for the rest of their lives that I was a wonderful person.
I was just reading some of the comments, and this person, Jeanette Darkay said, "Your sister Nikki is a better human being than you ever or have the capability of being. That is a fact that you can't stand that. That is a fact, and you can't stand that. You can't stand anyone who have the capability of being human because you don't have the capability of being human. You don't want to. That's fine. No one wants to care, love, or even like you. No one ever will." Jeanette Darkay, I totally agree with you. And here's another comment replying to Hatman's post. Hatman Resurrected, or Hatman, said, "I'm going to have to do the British accent. You're not kind to anyone, though, Mary. You're not kind to anyone, though, Mary, living or dead. Once again, here you are, making yourself the victim. Anyone else is to blame for you doing something." And then Harley time out, and Tara said, "She can't help herself. Baby Mary is trying to get what she wants." An internet person also replied, "Mary only knows how to manipulate. She's not good at it, but that's all she knows." And I couldn't agree more. And Grim Cheers replied, "Mary, you bring everything on yourself. And you're saying you associate money with love is the sickest plea for Gibbs. For Gibbs I've ever heard. Everything bad that does happen is your own fault. You can change that, but you won't. You can get a job, but refuse to. The fact that my tax dollars go to your EBT shows how broke the system is." And that's true.
And everybody loved me. Nobody loved me. Nobody. Don't ever fucking. I hope
Yes,
there isn't a fucking.
Yes, I did see that one. It was amazing. Exactly.
Obituary saying everybody loved me because nobody loves me. Y'all have made that very clear. Nobody loves me or respects me or will ever believe the pain that I'm dealing with. So don't try to convince people of it afterwards. And don't make the mistake that I did of praising somebody who doesn't deserve it just because they're dead and you don't think it'll hurt anything, because it will. It will hurt your chances of being believed for the rest of your life. If you say something kind about an abuser just one time that can't be taken away. Nobody's ever going to believe me, and I can't even live with that. It hurts just too much to know that as much as it hurts, nobody will even believe me just because when he died, I said something kind about him.
This was the last.
Never, ever, ever lie. If somebody dies, tell the world that they're a disgusting piece of garbage. Don't lie about it and ruin your own life, because people will not understand.
Yeah, we know, Mary. We know. She is a piece of shit. Much like Shanny, she always blames everyone but herself. Family, friends, people who make videos on her. The only difference is that Shanny never helped bury a body. And Shanny never told an ex-boyfriend to get rid of his fiance, his disabled fiance, who was wheelchair bound and had cerebral palsy.
People will judge and hate you for the rest of your life and never believe that you've been hurt if you say anything after the person dies that isn't that they hurt you. And if you go to the funeral and say that they hurt you, people are going to call you a liar then too. So what is really the point of trying in this world to be heard?
This video was on August 4th of this year.
I'm going to leave comments on this video. And one day, I don't care if it's 50 years from now, if anything happens to me, I want the comments on this video to be read at my funeral and reflect the true feelings of the people in my life toward.
Here are my comments. Here lies Mary Barone. She kills ducks and buries potatoes.
Me. Because I don't want a bunch of lies. I don't want a bunch of people standing around saying that I was wonderful and happy and loved and brought light and kindness to everybody. I want people to
Well, you did bring happiness to me because your pain is our pleasure. Your suffering is our joy.
know the truth. That I was miserable and everybody in the world hated me and wanted me to feel pain. And nobody will ever believe me until it's too late. And once it is too late, I want to make sure that the truth is still known. That it's not just kind words being thrown at a dead body to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, I would. By the way, Moon Bear, Shanny tried to kill her ex-husband, Chris Dornbush, whom the Geek Room have interviewed, and he has told about the time that Shanny threatened to kill him with an axe.
That it's the actual truth of how people actually feel and how people actually treat me. Even better, if I die, I want my kiwi farms read at my funeral.
Okay.
Because I want people to know what was really believed about me. I want people to know what other people really saw about me. Not the lies that they're going to make up afterwards to make themselves feel better about this disgusting pile of shit that they had in their lives.
And Shanny has wished death on so many people.
If you're saying it to me now, I want it to be said to me after I'm dead too. Because if it's true now, then it'll be true then.
All right. That's going to do it for tonight, for this stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sticking around. Moon Bear, I would love to work with you one day. Maybe we can get a show together if you have the time. Again, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being here. I know this was out of the blue, but I had to do it. I really had to do it. If you want to support me, again, if you want to see more videos, again, subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification, and you can get updates on when I'm going to start streaming. Again, I'm going to stream tomorrow night at 9 to all right. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is rgjaime91 Moonbear, as well as my Twitter under the same name, rgjaime91. If you want to talk, hang out, or anything else, that's going to be great. All right. My Insta is RG at. All right. Feel free to like check out the links in the description if you want to support me. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 doing my Friday Frenzy stream. I have seen the Cuomo Shanny video. It's the one where she was suggesting that Cuomo open an OnlyFans. I mean, what kind of person says that about a guy who was accused of sexually harassing women? Anyway, on the subject, thank you for sticking out for me. Thank you for coming. That being said, I'm Rickzilla, and I will see you guys in the near future. Peace out. Oh, I'll take a look at it, Moonbear.